All right, I decided to do one more video for today, but it's more or less a speech. June the 23rd, 2012. Now, this speech I copied yesterday. It was written on November the 3rd, 2008, but you can tell from when I wrote it, which was a little more than 3 years ago, that that I've been through a lot of abuse. Now, you go to votesmart.com and you go to VoteSmart, and you'll find these speeches on there. I have it all written out. So I printed it up, and it's primarily all the people and things that were involved at the time. Now, I still had my things when I did this speech. I was at DeSoto and Hart in Canoga Park, and I had my political sign up. They came on the property on March of 2009. By HRM Cesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte. It says November 3rd, 2008, location unknown. And it says the people not only of the United States but the whole world has missed out again to make the highest jump in human evolutionary thinking. This is when Obama was running. To advance our species to a more beneficial universal level. And who do we have to thank for all this? I will list them for you. Top of the list, all taxpayers. United States taxpayers. 2, overpriced lawyers. Rip-off lawyers, blood-sucking lawyers. 3, uneducated voters. 4, all judges. 5, eyesore fanatics. 6, the state of California. 7, the county and city of Los Angeles. 8, the LAPD, and all the vicious cycle law enforcers involved with the LAPD, parking enforcement, every last stinking, lousy, ridiculous, numbskull, stupid, abusive representatives of the city of Los Angeles. 9, you better get ready for this one. All religious beliefs not backed by hard, cold evidence and proof of the existing of any kind of God. 10, you'll like this one. I'm sure every unknown presidential candidate would agree with me. This is the list. We're not off yet. The list of the people who have done this terrible thing to not just the United States, but the whole world. Number 10 on the list, the mainstream media. 11, people who block simple solutions to the world's problems. 12, political parties who are secretly evil and have a monopoly on those who get enough attention to get elected by the 5th grade mentality voters of the United States of America. 13, the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, the influence they have, and all the big money interests that are involved. And the list is too long to keep track of. And not enough people to care, there's that word again, care, which I say takes the place of love. Not enough people to care about the advance warnings until the problem is at their doorstep, your doorstep. Political Einsteins like myself will disappear into the radioactive background of non-existence. With all the secrets of super successful administrations, I'll say that again, political Einsteins like myself will disappear into the radioactive background of non-existence with all the secrets of super successful administrations which would have made the world a safer and better place. There will never be a unanimous political uprising in America, and that is a shame. And it's what a shame for all you people who don't want to unanimously write in your vote for me. What a shame the internet can't be used for a real revolution to a quicker and better government. But I do know this: the ongoing damages that have been done to me were done by people that can never see or feel the truth. For me to remain an extremely unhappy prisoner is wrong. To keep me here and to take my possessions while you kept me here. If only they would have left me alone, I could have changed things for the better side of existence and outlawed the stealth-like evil forces that have a stranglehold on all of us. Whether you agree with me or not, enjoy the invisible cages you all live in, because you live in invisible cages. Sincerely, the one and only true Emperor and President of the United States since October of 1996, His Royal Majesty Supreme Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte. Now, in the past, I've made these recordings, and I've also told you people that I'm dying right in front of your eyes. I'm getting headaches now, by the way. So, blood in my stools, headaches. I don't know what's going to take me down, but something will take me down eventually. I don't know when or where it will happen, but I'm sure it will. Yeah, I'm sitting down here on concrete because I don't know what to do. I have to move in the next 5 or 7 days from one storage to another. It's not a big deal, but I won't have any money probably until Friday, and that's kind of late. It's always cutting the deadline too close. I've made 9 challenges to the presidential candidates. I've even posted stuff on their websites. They're not going to pay attention to it. Their political advisors will hide it, or they won't have the actual candidates will, even if they were confronted with my identity, they would say they'd never heard of me and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I've talked about water beings. I went on the YouTube for a little while, for a couple hours, and went on What the Bleep, and there's a guy who's debunking What the Bleep. Guy makes very, very logical points, but he missed one completely. The biggest one of all in the movie, the one where the cartoon character says, take one electron, the biggest granddaddy of all experiments, take one electron. He doesn't say where the experiment happened. All they would have had to have done is put in the movie that all you have to do is click on one of the websites I told you, the 5 websites that prove that there are invisible anomalies on this planet controlling things. Or, let's put it this way, influencing things on a level that's unimaginable. So, all they would have done is say, go to the holographic universe. You'll see the, it tells you in detail the experiment that went on in Paris in 1984. But in the movie, the cartoon character, Dr. Quantum, he's dressed like a superhero. The cartoon character says, take one electron and travel to the other side of the universe. Well, I kind of quipped a comment to the guy, William H., I think is his name, Debunk. And I said to him, you missed the most important one of all. You're making big criticisms and all the people that talked in the movie, and you know that movies are movies. Come on. Movies are edited. They are censored, just like the media censors candidates like me. They'll never hear of me. And so he says, take one part of the electron, takes it to the other side of the universe. I just about dropped my mouth open and went, what? I said, I haven't been to the side of the universe. Ramtha hasn't been to the other side of the universe, a 35,000 or 3,500-year-old being, supposedly. And that's just nothing compared to how many years there was between us and the dinosaurs. So Ramtha's not really all that intelligent. To me, a real intelligent being, if there's any intelligent being, would be a being that has been here for the whole term of existence. All what, 14, 15 billion or more years, light years. So who would make the time to be able to get to the other side of the universe, even if you could travel faster than light? The Moody Blues and other science fiction things talk about traveling faster than light. And one of the songs in the Moody Blues, they say, and you can fly faster than light if you want to, streaming through the universe. Thinking is the best way to travel. So you hear this stuff and you go, wow, well, maybe they're right, but you would have had to have been there originally in order to think yourself or will yourself there. So the cartoon character goes, here's you take one electron, take to the other side of the universe, and influence one electron at the other side of the universe, and this electron, which is entangled, will immediately, instantly know. So everything is connected. Well, that's not how the experiment went in Paris, France. They took one electron, put it on the other side of the Seine River, the University of Paris. They hit one electron, I believe, with a laser. Don't quote me on that, but they influenced one electron. And the other electron, the alleged entangled electron at the other side, responded immediately in less than a nanosecond. Well, they divided the distance between both electrons and came up with a mathematical figure that was faster than light. So what did that electron become? Did it become a tachyon all of a sudden? I don't think so. There's more to investigate. That's what science is all about, keeping an open mind. Now, I realize that in the movie they played around with statistics and they were called on it, like this guy Williams says. And he's 37 years old and he's from Berkeley, so he seems like a very intelligent guy. I'm not knocking him. I think I commend him on his effort to debunk any of the mistakes, but he missed the biggest one. I haven't been to the other side of the universe. Have you, Bill? William? Have you been to the other side? Nobody has. Hell, even the existence of this planet, the creation of the whole solar system, the time it took for this to all be created right here in this spot or in this local group area is not even a pin dot compared to how long it took for everything to get here. So, no, So there's more investigations that's necessary. So if you're watching these movies, yeah, I'd question it. I'd say something about it. But I wouldn't go to the point that this guy William did, which is, and he's criticizing this part of the movie and that part of the movie and that, but the biggest one is the one of that cartoon character. Nobody's been to the other side of the universe. Mention where the lousy experiment took place. So I tell William, I did Dr. Emoto's experiment. I didn't use filters. I used a microscope and I used regular old water samples. I used distilled water, I used regular water, I used all kinds of water. It was the same results. Water that had imprinted on the labels in different languages did affect and influence the creation or the symmetry of the crystals. But that's not the only place. Jacques Cousteau's saltwater tank experiment. The clam experiments that they did, where they took clams from the eastern seaboard, University of Minnesota, and they proved that the clams don't open according to just the tides. They move according to the moon's gravitational pull, and that's why they open and close. So this is the whole idea about Shangri-La. It was supposed to be a huge city of nothing but think tanks, but the reason I was attacked by the government, federal, state, and local, and by the 38 different secret levels of government, was because they didn't want another Manhattan Project, because they knew I was going to travel the world once I got out there to my 40 acres, and I was going to build this fantastic place, and I was going to go out and interview people all over the world. I put an ad in the Recycler in I can't remember the year. It was 96. The day the shuttle disaster, that year, the shuttle disaster, the first one, right after liftoff, that's the one. And I put in an ad in the Recycler. I said, Shangri-La, experimental community being built, must pass qualification test, psychological test, philosophical test, a 1-year probationary period. and I delineated terms about the place and what I needed. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. People wanted to get out of this place. And that was in 1996 or 95. Whatever the year, what doesn't matter, it was the mid-1990s. What do you think they would do if I put an ad in again like that? Oh, and I also put in must be multi-talented. Of course, because this being L.A., a lot of people answered the ad and they said, oh, I dance and sing, and I said, well, I don't mean multi-talented in entertainment. I mean multi-talented in work capabilities. If you know how to do mechanical work on automobiles or wagons, then I need you to also be a carpenter, or I need you to also do a lot of different things so that we can rotate our jobs so that we don't get bored. But see, they interfered, and the reason they interfered was because if I'm building a giant think tank city, that's the very same reasons right after they built the Manhattan Project why they closed it down, because they didn't want those brains, because that's what they were thinking, of starting a community like that, having nothing but scientists there, because the leaders just aren't qualified to be able to 16 minutes. To be able to absorb, use, and manipulate the information for the benefit of all. And that's the real reason that we're here. I don't have to be channeling some ancient being from another world or another planet or blah blah, or talking to, you know, in a blimey English accent. Oh, I'm so and so from the planet Zeon, and I want to talk about the outback I grew up in. I mean, you know, you don't have to do that. I mean, the answers are simple, and if you keep it simple, it will remain simple. And that's it for today. I really wanted to just do the speech. It's 17 minutes. Talk to you later. I'm going to go wander some more. Bye. Wander some more of the homeless life. A life that the presidents and governors and all those people who should be living that life for at least a year will never see.